Let me tell you a story about a boy, a seed, and an emperor. In a land far away, a long, long time ago, there lived an emperor. He was old now and very wise. He had ruled his kingdom with a kind heart for many years. But he had a problem, a big one. He needed to choose someone to take his place, and he decided to do it in a very unusual way. One day, he called all the children in the kingdom to his palace. The courtyard was filled with hopeful, excited faces. The emperor stood before them and said, "I am going to give each of you a very special seed. I want you to take this seed home, plant it, and care for it for 1 year. After 1 year, you will bring your plant back to me. The one who has grown the most beautiful plant will be the next emperor." Among the children was a boy named Ping. Ping loved to garden more than anything. For him, it was simple. He believed that, with care and honesty, anything beautiful could grow. He took his seed from the emperor with a determined heart. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower of all. He went home and found the perfect pot. He filled it with the richest soil. He planted the seed with gentle hands. Every single day, Ping cared for his seed. He made sure it had just the right amount of sunlight. He gave it water, patiently, carefully. Weeks passed, but nothing happened. Ping started to worry. He changed the soil, putting it in an even better pot. He watched it from morning until night. Months went by. Still, his pot was empty. All around him, other children were talking about their amazing plants. They had tall stems, big green leaves, and the beginnings of beautiful flowers. Their excitement was a mirror, reflecting his own quiet shame. He felt like a failure, but he kept watering the barren soil, hoping for a miracle. Finally, the year was over. It was time to return to the palace. Ping looked at his empty pot, and his heart sank. He told his father he didn't want to go. He couldn't bear the thought of standing there with nothing to show for his efforts. But his father looked at him kindly and said, "Son, what is in this pot is not a failure. It is the truth. Go and show the emperor not the flower you couldn't grow, but the character you have grown this whole year." So, with his head held low, Ping carried his empty pot to the palace. When he arrived, he was amazed. The courtyard was like a magnificent garden, filled with the most stunning plants he had ever seen. The other children stood proudly next to their creations. When they saw Ping and his empty pot, some of them laughed. They pointed and whispered. Ping just tried to hide in the back of the crowd. The emperor came out and began to walk through the garden. He looked at all the amazing plants, but his face was calm, unsmiling. He didn't seem impressed. Then, he reached the back of the crowd and saw Ping, hiding behind his empty pot. The emperor stopped. He asked the guards to bring the boy to the front. Ping was terrified. The emperor knows I'm a failure, he thought. He's going to punish me. The emperor picked up the empty pot for everyone to see. Then, he raised his voice and made an announcement that shocked everyone into silence. "Behold," he said, "your new emperor." The children and their parents were stunned. "But how?" one of them shouted. "His pot is empty." The emperor smiled for the first time that day. He turned to the crowd and explained, "1 year ago, I gave you all a seed, but what I didn't tell you is that all the seeds I gave you were boiled. They were cooked. It was impossible for them to grow into anything at all." He looked around the courtyard at the sea of beautiful flowers. "I don't know how all of you grew these plants, but I do know this. When this boy found that his seed would not grow, he had the courage and the honesty to bring back an empty pot. And that, my people, is the most important seed of all. The seed of integrity." You see, that story teaches us something so incredibly important. In our lives, We're all given seeds. We're told to make them grow, to be successful, to show everyone our beautiful results. And the pressure is huge. It's so tempting to pretend, to show a pretty flower that isn't real, just to fit in. It's easy to fake success. But true character, true strength, is shown when you have the courage to show up with your empty pot. It's the courage to be honest about your struggles, your failures, and your truth. It's not always the easy path, but it is the path that lets your heart be at peace. In the end, it's not the flower that matters. It's the honesty in your heart. That is what truly makes a leader. That is what truly makes a good person. Thank you for listening. May you always have the courage to nurture the seed of honesty in your own heart.